This is a Mark IV 2JZ GT stock motor, big injectors, welding the fuel pump, E85 already, and it came up, AEM Infinity most importantly. It came up to us already running and driving decently, but with a couple issues that I've had to work through. The first of which being that the fuel pump would drop pressure over time, and we discovered that to be a lack of ventilation on the pump. So once we basically were getting air in the tank, and it was hard to suck the gas out because it was under vacuum in there. So I uncapped the tank, and that fixed the fuel pressure issue, but then we immediately encountered some kind of misfiring going on, which ended up being the coil packs themselves. And they were still Toyota coil packs, and of course this car is, you know, pretty old now. So if you got coil packs that are 20 plus years old and you're trying to make significant power, that's a definitely need to change those. And you know, no judgment to the owner, they did seem to be working good as he dropped it off, but as soon as we started to try to make any power, it was misfiring and kind of alarming at first, but compression perfect, leak down perfect. Changed out the coil packs to some GM coil packs, had to do a little wiring on that, but everything seems to be working really well now, and I think it's about ready to hit the dyno. All right, that's a good first number right there. Everything looks pretty good, pretty low timing, kind of a rich mixture, so lots of room to grow from there. Okay, so I see why we didn't gain any power on that run. The knock feedback was active and poorly calibrated to start with, majorly overly sensitive in the factory, or in the base file basically. So we were getting 4 degrees of retard in the top end, and I could see it on the dyno plot shape, rather than just looking at that max number. So it's more important to look at the dyno, the plot shape, than it is that peak number. Oftentimes the shape is much more telling than, so I saw an abrupt drop, and then I look in the log file and I can see the knock feedback. So not only was it pulling timing, but it was adding fuel to an already rich mixture. So for now, I've adjusted the knock feedback, the noise level up just a little bit. We're probably still gonna get too much, but I'm gonna adjust it until I feel good about it. I know the timing that a motor like this is gonna take, and we're way south of that right now. I feel very comfortable that it's not real knock. Obviously you have to proceed with caution on stuff like this. We know the timing is synced. I know what numbers are reasonable. It's saying that it's getting 5-6 degrees of, so something's not jiving right there. So gonna try another run with that noise floor moved up just a little bit. I'm not gonna take any timing out because I know those numbers are good. And the shape, you can see the drop right here in the top end, how it just plummeted on both of those runs, in fact. So Let's go again. There we go. So, verified, that was false knock. It made a bunch more power now. Soon, I should probably check a spark plug. We're at gate pressure, and that was 100% throttle. And so, considering what I'm seeing on the knock reading, looking at a spark plug would help me align the correct noise level, floor for the knock sensor now. Okay, so to clarify regarding the knock sensor settings, just like, I like to start with too much fuel, too rich a mixture, and peel away until it's clean. Same thing for timing. You don't want to start with low timing, not too low a timing. You got to be a little bit more reasonable with that, but low timing, lower than what I know the car will tolerate, and work my way up. The same kind of thought process applies to the knock sensor calibration, that it's preferable to have it overly sensitive initially, peel away some sensitivity until you arrive at a happy setting for it. It's a little bit more difficult to arrive at it in a standalone where they haven't done all of this calibration for this particular chassis and engine setup and all that, but it can be done, and that's kind of what just happened here. And you can look at the dyno plot shapes. The previous runs that are like 410, 416, when the knock control was interfering, and now the top number, the much smoother shape, making power all the way out with it now calibrated correctly. .455, tiny bump. So not expecting much change right now, just refining. I did turn the boost controller on at an extremely low setting. We didn't actually realize any extra boost on that run, but I wanted to at least see in the data log the boost duty cycle is now being shown, and so I'll escalate that. That's pretty much perfect now on gate, I would say. So now I'm gonna start trying to escalate the boost. So I just finished saying that we didn't get an actual increase in boost. We didn't get an increase in peak boost, but looking at the dyno plot, we did get some kind of little boost increase. I can tell from the way that that's shaped, that is indicative of a boost increase there. So hopefully now on this run, we will find a significant boost increase. There we go. Cool, so we definitely got a boost increase there. Now I do have a significant oscillation in the map sensor reading. The blue line here, it's got quite a bit of jitter to it, which makes me want to either take a peek for a boost leak, or maybe I need to apply a filter on the map sensor reading. So I'm going to take a peek in the bay, see if I see anything funny, and then we'll proceed. It did make more power though. I'll have to look at the dyno plot shape and see if it was uniform power. It was uniform power. Seems like probably I need to apply a filter then, but I'm gonna look closer at that right now. I heard the very beginnings of what I think is spark blowout on that run. Just one little blip. So I showed a moment ago the jitter in the blue, the map sensor reading, and it's still doing that. So I went in and found the map filter setting and adjusted it up significantly. It was at like 30%. We're gonna try it at 50% now and see if that cleans up my map signal. And the reason I'm really focused in on that is because when the map sensor reading jitters like that, then the associated ignition timing also jitters. So the net result is what happened at the end of that dyno run. Take a peek there, where you can see it was kind of on one path, and then in the very top end, it laid over before it should because of that jitter, because of the map sensor needing to have a stronger filter on it. So a lot of times I'll also find that the actual map reading will come down a little bit once you apply the filter, because you're hitting like a peak boost of 18 or whatever, but then it's kind of averaging out to 16 and a half or something like that. The other thing to be aware of is, and I already checked that, like I said, that when I saw the jitter, that makes me immediately think, do we have a boost leak? Check for vacuum leaks, check wastegate lines to the, to the turbo, to the gates, to the boost controller, all that stuff. A little leak can make that kind of a jitter. So once I was comfortable that I didn't see any of those things, I adjusted the filter. Looks pretty good. Little bump. All right, so the map filter helped out enormously. We didn't actually change boost pressure, but we did get some more power, and the blue is now quite smooth. Looks very good to me now. Let's see what peak boost ended up being. 16.5 pounds. And boost control is active, but clearly not doing very much yet, because that boost is basically what gate was. I think we were only adding kind of area under the curve there. All right, so we just did 518 wheel horsepower. Boost control is definitely working and escalating nicely. I just wanted to point out the two plots. Like, here's our gate pressure plot. Both the red and the green, I think, were about 16 pounds. And the blue are now 20 pounds, 20.5 pounds. But the important thing to note is how these two lines are parallel with each other. This tells me that although there's more boost and there's different ignition timing for that more boost, when they stay parallel like that, that tells me that I have the right timing and that higher boost level. They should always stay parallel like that, unless I'm getting at something where I'm needing to protect it or pull timing back for a shift or whatever. But generally, it should just be like the same curve moved up. If I were to see that this was coming down here, then that might indicate to me that the timing I have in the high boost setting is not yet optimal, because it shouldn't be making a different shape than the lower one unless we maxed out the turbo, and that's definitely not the case right now. But I just wanted to highlight the shape and how it should look parallel, just the same moved up. That sounded good. Yeah, I love it. I think she's about maxed out there. If you look at the shape of the dyno plot now, it's got a significant roll off compared to our lower boost runs. All right, well, that was a new high number here, 643 and 592 torque. It's actually a new day. As you see, my outfit has changed. I got to go home and look closely at the logs, closely at the tune file, make some refinements and adjustments, and we were rewarded with about 50 more wheel horsepower. There's our dyno plots of final and then straight wastegate at the 430 wheel horsepower basically there. But I am pretty excited about that. That's a high number for a stock motor log manifold. The owner is gonna come up and we're gonna go take it out on the street and see what it feels like.
Got a little squirrely there.
All right, well, that is going to close it out for Hurriel Supra today. Maybe it'll be back at a different date with some other parts and we can get a little bit more power out of it, but rare scenario where somebody brought me a solid car, plenty of fuel pump, plenty of injector, good ECU behind it, and let me do my job. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what you saw here. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe to encourage us to keep filming these videos, and we'll see you next time.